John Ruiz. One thing about doing this, you get to meet a lot of different people, and a few years ago, this Pima County Hall of Fame, Lionel Gore was the first person, I grew up here in Tucson, first person from Ajo I ever met. And this guy, Mr. Ruiz, is from Ray, Arizona. I've never met anybody from Ray, Arizona either. So what was it like growing from Ray, Arizona?
It's a small mining town, and everybody knew everybody. So it was a great place to grow up, it really was. And we had two towns. A lot of people don't know this, but it was segregated. The Hispanics on one town, and everybody was not Hispanic in the other town. But somehow we managed to get along, and we had a great time. We had one high school, which was a good deal. We got to know a lot of people there that we didn't know before. But it was a great town, a nice place to grow up.
You played baseball and basketball, four-year letterman there. What schools did you play?
Ray, Arizona.
I know. What schools did you play? Who did you play against?
Oh, Florence. I don't know if people all know about the Celayas. We played against them, and they were a heck of a bunch of basketball players, I'll tell you. And Globe, Miami, Superior, and I think we ever went to Safford. We went to Safford to play with him, football. Mm-hmm. I remember that. He had a big tight end, or big defensive end. It really killed us. Suggs. I think his name was Suggs, or one of the Suggs boys. Anyway, we went up there and they really bounced all over us.
So you go to the university. You always want to be a coach?
Not really. I just kind of grew into it when we went to CDO in 1963. We opened up the doors as 7th and 8th graders, and we went on from there. And we started having freshman teams in '64. That's when Dean Metz came up there in baseball, and he chose freshmen. And then the next year, he asked me to coach the freshmen. He went on with the sophomores, and so on. We kept advancing like that. And Dean and I were great friends. We traveled a lot together, and I really miss the big guy. He was one great person.
So Bob Smith was a football coach at CDO.
Bob came after Art Mangles, and Art Mangles hired me to play freshman football, and I learned a lot of football from Art. And eventually I wound up being on the varsity with the defensive backs, and I enjoyed that a lot. Matter of fact, I did a lot of golf, but football is my favorite sport.
So that was, Bob Smith was the head coach, and you won the 2 state championships though, right?
With Bob Smith,
yes.
Yes. We had a great group of kids, and we won 2 in a row. And I remember we beat Winslow, and Winslow had 2,000-yard rushers, and I think we held them to 60 yards, both of them together. Yeah, Bob really had good defense. He could really put up a defensive group. Those are very enjoyable years when we coached football.
Well, you're doing all this stuff. You're also the golf coach from '68 to 91, huh?
Well, the way I got that job, no one, guy named Bob Richter had the first golf team up there because he had a membership at Oro Valley. And Mark Udall from the Udall clan, he won the state championship, but the next year Bob couldn't do it. I don't know the reason. So Art Mangles, who was he was acting athletic director, says, I don't know anybody who plays golf except you. Why don't you take the job? I said, I don't know anything about golf. So anyway, he convinced me to take it, and it turned out to be one great sport for us. And to this day, I remember when the job came available, Dean Metz, I talked to Dean, and I said, Dean, if you take the golf job, I'll take the head varsity. But since you've been here doing that, I'll give you the choice. He chose baseball. And then years later, he would say, you little Mexican, you really screwed me.
So you had 6 state championships there at CDO in golf.
Yes, I was very fortunate. You get guys like Nick Buckaloo and Scott Spence and Ryan Hitella and John Buttery and my own 2 kids. Matter of fact, here's one of them. It's not very hard to win them, but I was a real good van driver. I was able to get them there on time and get them back home. But in those years, you know, the golf was country club golf, and there wasn't very many interest in golf. And the kids that I inherited were very, very good golfers. Randy Udall, the late Randy Udall, he was one of them. Great guys, and I'll tell you what, I was very fortunate. And 6 state championships, and I was very proud of that.
Well, you're also doing other stuff too. I mean, besides golf, you're the timekeeper and all that, and you're really active as CEO.
Yes, I see all these referees here. I used to tell them, when you call a foul, look at the clock up there at the scoreboard. If the number that you think is the number that's up there is right or wrong, change your call. Bobby Rao, President Cordy Overstreet, great guys. Yeah, but it was a great time. I did that for 24 years, I think.
All right. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.